You're locked into the Liberty Flames podcast, powered by Rogers Heating and Cooling, servicing Greater Lynchburg's HVAC and electrical needs. Schedule your service today at callrogers.com. Welcome to the NAZSCAR podcast with Nick Pierce. Don't worry, there's no lap traffic or caution flags here. Paul Nazigian and Tim Scarborough are here to bring you the latest on Liberty Flames basketball and mid-major hoops. Now, let's get to it. Here's Nick, Naz, and Scar.
We are back like we never left. Welcome into the NAZSCAR podcast. It's time to talk Flames basketball, mid-major hoops, alongside Tim Scarborough and Paul Nazigian. I'm Nick Pierce, welcoming you back into another season of NAZSCAR. Here on the Liberty Flames podcast, powered by Rogers Heating and Cooling, servicing Greater Lynchburg's HVAC and electrical needs. Schedule your service at callrogers.com. And we've got a lot to talk about here today. The Flames are off to a hot start, pun intended. Liberty 3-0 on the season. Defending Conference USA champions really just took care of business over the weekend at Liberty Arena, blasting Charleston first on Friday and then FAU on Sunday. The Flames had Saturday off in between. Third installment of the Field of 68 event, hosted by Jeff Goodman and his crowd. They do a phenomenal job there, really spotlighting college basketball. And the Flames were center stage. We will talk plenty about that, the standout performances, what landed Zach Cleveland Conference USA Player of the Week, and so much more. Guys, I got to tell you, I've missed doing this. I've missed chatting with you all, and I know the folks are looking forward to hearing from you. You know what I really like about this setting, though? It's after hours. It's relaxed. I'm in my man cave dungeon at home. I'm not formally dressed. I got a t-shirt and sweats on, man. I'm ready to just kind of just kick it with my guys and talk some basketball. It's good to see you guys again.
Good to see you too. And even with the new format now, we're going to let people see our beautiful faces. So this is going to be fun. I'm looking forward to another great season of NAZSCAR podcast.
Yeah, this is going to be great. But even more so, it was great seeing you guys. We were all together in the arena for the weekend. Yeah. We got to hang out with each other for a little bit and then also see some great basketball that we're going to talk about tonight.
Yeah, I heard that whenever Nick, Naz, and Scar are all in the same building, an angel gets its wings. That's the story. Anyway. No,
but Angel got a couple different wings because we got to do watch games Friday, and then you and I did a game on Saturday. The College of Charleston, FAU. Always great to work with you on the air. You did a great job as always. But yeah, the Flames. How about them? I mean, my goodness, they are unbelievable right now.
Incredible. I mean, it's vibes of some of the great teams of the past. I don't want to put any expectations necessarily on this team yet after 3 games, but man, it has been a phenomenal start at 3-0. And really, before we even get into the Flames on the men's side, I also want to shout out a former Liberty men's assistant coach turned head coach on the mountain now, Alexis Sherrard. Congratulations to him. Now the head coach of the Liberty Lady Flames program, defending CUSA champions there. And Coach Sherrard has the Lady Flames off to a 2-0 start. Got a really solid win over a tough East Carolina team the other day at Liberty Arena. They'll play JMU and Duke this week, so it doesn't get any easier for the Lady Flames. But, man, what a great opportunity for him. And, you know, guys, I mean, you see it all the time. Guys bounce around. They go from one city to the next and one school to the next, trying to work their way up in the profession. And Coach Sherrard just kind of bided his time here on the mountain. And you just love to see guys get rewarded for that.
Yeah, you know, I think about going back to the days when Alexis actually worked for Pete Gillen back in the day, a long time ago now. I mean, well into, I think it was the late 90s, and I've known him from that time on. And whenever I see Coach Gillen on the road, of course, he does games for CBS, covers Conference USA. We were hanging together a little bit at the Final Four, and we talked about Alexis. And I didn't think he was going to get the job so soon because I thought Kerry Green was going to stay there for another 25 years. But I'm really happy for Alexis. I remember when he moved over to the women's side, it was like, oh, wow, that's different, right? But women's basketball has come such a long way from certainly from the time where he became an assistant many years ago. But, man, the Flames just continue to roll on the women's side. Kerry Green wow, he left an impression, indelible impression, taking the team to the Sweet 16 in 2005, several Big South championships, several A-Sun championships, and then to win Conference USA last year with Middle Tennessee lurking in the last few years and dominating that league. Wow, what a major accomplishment. But I'm really happy for Alexis to keep going, keep building on what Kerry Green did.
Yeah, and you never, you look around the landscape of college basketball, whether it's men's and women's, and anytime jobs open up, man, there's so much pressure to go out and find a committee and who's the big name and who's hot. And I didn't think that would come into play with Liberty. I'm glad it didn't. And Alexis deserved it. His fingerprints were all over that program already. He'd done such a great job as an assistant there. And, I know we all in Flames Nation really wanted to see him get that opportunity. So glad he did. And he's off and running. He's going to do a great job keeping that program rolling the way they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And coming up this Sunday when the Lady Flames are back at home, I did want to remind everyone that that'll be the next home game at Liberty Arena. Liberty taking on a Duke team that won the ACC last year, went to the Elite Eight. As good as you're going to find. Carol Lawson's crowd coming to town. And that'll be a big challenge for the Lady Flames. Hope to get a great crowd out there. 2:00 tip-off on Sunday in Lynchburg. Go to church, get some lunch, get out to the arena, watch the Lady Flames play this Sunday. And then at halftime, they'll have a special presentation for head coach Kerry Green. Not going to tell you what he's going to be presented with at halftime. You'll have to go and see, but it's going to be a lot of fun. Then a post-game reception for him as well. That'll be open for folks. So make your plans. Get out to Liberty Arena, watch the Lady Flames take on the Blue Devils, cheer them on, and then pay homage to the GOAT of Liberty Athletics and Kerry Green. I don't, as far as team victories go, he and Brant Tolsma are kind of neck and neck, stretch, for who has that all-time coaching title. But put that on your calendars here for this Sunday. The Liberty men, we hit on it right away, guys, but this team, to win a championship, to get all three of their dudes back, the core of this foundation with Zach Cleveland, Caden Matheny, Colin Porter. That's special in and of itself. But to come out and just handle business 90-76 over Charleston, well, kicked off the season with the big lopsided win over Kentucky Christian at home. Then you step up to Division I opponents, Charleston 90-76. FAU on Sunday, 88-66. And guys, those two games never really in doubt, were they?
No, I mean, they didn't make it look like in doubt, and that's one of the things I sort of made a note to mention. Like, they made it look too easy because all three of us know those two opponents, College Charleston and FAU, are really good. Like, year to year, as well as this year, they. The portal guys they got, the returners, they're both just well-coached teams. And I think the average fan, Scar, we sat together Sunday and we looked around the arena and we're like, do people even know what they're watching? Because Liberty was just dismantling a great team. And again, when this thing finishes, we're going to watch where those two teams finish, and they're going to have really good years, I think. And so because of that, we were kind of like they made it, the guys look so good in so many facets. And I know we'll get a little deeper here. Scar, get some initial thoughts, but just it was just a absolute clinic both nights, and on both sides of the ball, just in a great start to this season.
Yeah, it looked like Liberty was playing Kentucky Christian on Friday and Sunday. And it's like, oh, wait a minute. These are mid-major, really good teams. The College of Charleston is picked third in the CAA, could certainly win that thing. They're that good. Chris Mack is a very good coach. Coached at Xavier. That's a great program. It's going back many years. Tradition. And they came in here and got destroyed. And then FAU, after Nick and I called the FAU Charleston game, I told Nick, I think FAU is going to be really tough to beat on Sunday night for Liberty because they're athletic and long. They have 4 7-footers, 6'10" to 7'1". All of them could guard on the perimeter. I thought until they had to guard Caden Matheny and Colin Porter and Brett Decker, and then those guys looked like they were, on skates. They looked like reindeer, trying to run on ice. I mean, they looked silly, and so from that, I'm thinking, wow, there's a lot I don't know about college basketball because I told the FAU people, if you remember, Nick, I said, when you're going through the warm-ups and you look at one team, look at the other, and you think, man, FAU is going to kind of control this game athletically. And then the game starts. And then Liberty shows you that, they get the crowd into it. They shoot the ball well. I said all those things in the air. But what I didn't say was that they were going to beat FAU by 20 points because I had no idea that was going to happen.
I don't think any of us did. And, I mean, it was, like I said, it was never really a game. I mean, Liberty was up 48-30 at halftime. And I was driving back from Charlotte. I didn't get to go to that game. I had to work the Panthers and Saints game on Sunday. Or I got to work the Panthers and Saints game on Sunday. Let me correct myself there. But I'm on the way home, and I'm listening to Alan and JP on the radio for Liberty. And then I flipped over to FAU's broadcast with my friend Ken, who you and I were able to fill in for on Saturday, as you mentioned, on their radio for the game against Charleston. And I kind of wanted to get the other perspective of it. And Ken was kind of making me chuckle a little bit because he's just watching his team get absolutely bludgeoned. And he said, I swear if Caden Matheny kicked the ball right now, it would go through the cylinder. It just felt like literally, I mean, and Liberty would have a possession, and he'd say, oh, that's good defense. Oh, they trap it. There's a three. It was literally, how do you defend it? And I saw that. I heard that in the game on Sunday. I saw that in the game on Friday. Liberty gives you a lot of things to have to worry about because Tim, I mentioned this to you, that one possession on Friday where Charleston plays like 26 good seconds of defense, denies Liberty 2 or 3 layups, and then the possession ends in a Brett Decker open 3. I mean, when everyone's going like that, it's pick your poison. Good luck.
Yeah, and think about this, Naz. The shooting. Everyone talks about the 3-point shooting, but how many easy layups do they get?
Yes.
So many shots at the rim. They get so many easy twos, which makes those threes even harder to guard. It kind of, and I'm not going to compare them to Golden State, but it is like trying to guard Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and all those guys, and they're running through all those screens and all those actions. And the second you turn your head the wrong way one time, they're behind you and they're scoring, or they're wide open off of a Draymond Green flare screen and they're popping a 3. That's what we were seeing. We had a great vantage point from media press row up top, and you could just see those actions, and you can't guard it all.
Yeah, and we saw both nights, again, good coaches who can play different styles, and we saw them try what you would normally do as a coach. Okay, let's get up into them and try to jam them and not give them free looks from 3. And like you said, Scar, it was backdoor cuts or just taking it off the dribble. We saw Matheny and Porter just get around the corner on their man and score. Okay, let's play a little softer or big. And then it was, dribble exchanges on the perimeter and that ball movement. And
that didn't work.
And it was like, they're chasing guys around and we're getting open threes. So like all that, I just have to come back to say, like we did the Conference USA tip-off show and we just talked about, all these teams have, so many new guys. And, it's fun to say the big 3 and see them coming back. But aside from production, you saw what that means to have returners that know a system, that know each other, and are unselfish. I mean, you talk about Porter, Matheny, Cleveland, certainly Decker. I mean, he wasn't a starter, but gosh, his progress to kind of move in to be this fourth guy, like. Teams don't have that. It's like, you think, oh, wow, look at all these guys we got in the portal. It's like, and they don't know each other, and they don't know your system. And you saw this weekend what it means to have guys that know a system, know each other, love each other. Man, it was beautiful.
And
I mean,
Caden Matheny said that after the game on Sunday. I asked him about, some of those possessions, and he said, it's muscle memory now. Like, I know where
yeah,
those guys are going to be. Zach Cleveland
that's what it
knows
looked
where
like.
I'm going to be.
Mhm.
It's, it's like what you said. And you just don't see it that much anymore because of the transfer portal. Guys just don't stay together like this. So we
No,
look at, go ahead.
I would say, Naz, one thing I will correct you on. Brett Decker is not the fourth guy. I think he's the first guy. I
Well,
mean, he
that's not
he
it.
really
That wasn't in order.
yeah, no, I mean, honestly, if you look at his numbers, and I know he's going to rescind to the mean because he's not Michael Jordan, but at the same time, the guy is 18 of 27 from three on the season. He's already made 18 threes. And, we see him dunking the ball at the rim. His defense is vastly improved from last year because that's the kind of thing that sat him down last year. He would
Yes.
get in the game, get beat off a dribble, and Richie would have him come sit next to him. But now he's matured. He's in the second season. His defense has really picked up, and his offensive skills, which we already knew he had, have taken a whole nother leap. I mean, I'm really excited to see what he does this year.
Yeah, Brett Decker Jr., second season. And Coach McKay said everyone thought that he could be poised for this kind of a breakout year, special ability to score. Scar, you highlighted the deeper commitment to defense this year. And he's the leading scorer for this team right now, 23 a game, yet Zach Cleveland took home Conference USA Player of the Week this week
I love
because
that.
he messed around, almost got a triple-double a couple times, and is averaging 11 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. The guy's shooting 56% from the floor. He even finished one of those dunks the other night, got on SportsCenter with the one-handed, cock back the hammer and let it fly. Cleveland just looks like, guys, I mean, he just looks like he's playing relaxed, poised. Not that he lacked for any confidence before, but I don't know, man. I watched him Friday night and even in the game on Monday, albeit against, different competition with Kentucky Christian. He just looks like everything's just in slow motion for him right now. Are you guys seeing the same thing?
Yeah, you use the word confidence, and you're not wrong. I guess my word for him would be maturity. And I guess as I was thinking of him, it's like when he got here, I was trying to think of an analogy. He was like a wild stallion, right? And like he's jumping, he's got all this energy, but it doesn't
Yeah.
have it focused in the right way. And he's just running around a million miles an hour, and you're like, wow, that horse could be something, but you got to sort of, break him of some bad habits and guide and focus that energy. It's like you look at the course of his career, and he's certainly developed his game. But I think his maturity, he knows when to turn it on and turn it off, and he's turned himself into a thoroughbred. If you want to keep the horse racing
Yeah.
analogy going.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like there's another guy. Like, what are you going to do as a defense? If you want to get up into him, like they're playing him at the 5 right now. So it's like if you're the 5 and you want to get up into him at 17, 19 feet, he's going to go right by you on the dribble and dunk one. Or if you sag and give him free vision to just find those guys coming off screens or little exchanges. That's how, you talk about he's almost getting a triple double. He just sees the floor and passes so well. It's like, so right off the bat, he puts these defenses in a disadvantage because, pick your poison with him, and then the other guys just play off him so well. So yeah, that would be my kind of descriptor of Cleveland. What do you got, Scar?
Yeah, I mean, Zach is kind of like a quarterback that has all day to throw the ball. When you back
Yeah.
off of him, he's got a clean pocket and he just picks you apart. And that's what he's doing right now. But I think both of you hit the nail on the head in terms of he carries himself even with more charisma and more confidence than he did even before. And again, he was an all conference level player before. And now he's taking a leap. And it just tells you that grown men can beat boys in the game of basketball. I mean, think about when you were 24, 25. I mean, I can remember I was playing semi-pro ball. We played a college team, and they had the guy who was the number one scorer in the nation, and he couldn't score me and he couldn't stop me. and I was nobody to him. But I was 24, I was 25, and he was 19 or 20. So having Caden Matheny in now his, let me check my notes, his 12th season at Liberty, he, he is really, I mean, he's that leadership and that experience. You could just tell these guys are so comfortable on a basketball court. We're not just in their own skin, but with each other. The chemistry is off the charts.
Yeah. Yeah, in the words of New Edition, changing from boys to men. That's what we've seen here so far from Zach Cleveland. And speaking of R&B, that's one thing I got to shout out Cleveland on. He's a big R&B guy. We share some traits there. And elsewhere, let's talk about some of these newcomers. We talked so much about the returnees. How about J.J. Harper? Yeah. A guy that comes in from Division II. You don't always know necessarily what you're going to get, but man, that is a gold mine at that level. So many tremendous players. Richie McKay saying after the game Sunday, could not pick a better guy suited for what this team needs right now. Your thoughts on J.J. Harper and some of these newcomers?
Yeah, for me, it's you think of what Richie did last year with two newcomers, Javon Moffmer, who Harper kind of reminds me of, but then we all forget Taylor Peter wasn't even a Division I player either, and he's in the NBA right now. He's on a two-way deal with Indiana. So, and he's going to play. I mean, he's going to play in that league. But yeah, Richie found another gem in J.J. Harper, and I think he's like Moffmer, but even a better athlete. And Moffmer was a really good athlete, and I think he might even be a better defender. And Moffmer was a lockdown defender. But from the 3 games I've seen J.J. Harper play right now, I mean, he also had a poster dunk that he took off the dribble. So you can tell he can take his game above the rim, but he fits right in with this group. And, Liberty lost Moffmer and they lost Peter. But, man, you plug in some of these other new guys, and it's like, wow, this team actually, and I know it's too early, Naz, but this team might be better, more talented anyway than last season's championship.
Yeah, gosh, from what we've seen already, yeah, it's they're setting the bar high. But my thought on these new guys, it's like, Scar, like coaches sort of develop a kind of a specialty area, then they kind of do clinics. Some guy will be the guru on the 1-3-1, and some guy will be the guru on full court press, and they go around and hit the clinic circuit. Coach McKay needs to do a clinic on finding the perfect fit for your program. I don't know what recipe or equation he uses, but you can go back to his second return to the mountain here, and every year he's found a guy, a D2 guy, that has fit perfectly into the system. And
Keenan Gums.
Yeah, Gums
Chris Parker.
Yes, and Chen, and like guys that came in and fit an exact role, and had the attitude to want to fit a role and be here for the right reasons. I'm telling you, it's like, that's not like, I'm being serious. Like we chuckle, but what Coach McKay and his staff do to find guys and get the right guys, as young men as well as basketball players, it's absolutely amazing. And add J.J. Harper, what we've seen out of Ryan Jones, the big fella comes in and I'm like, oh yeah, this kid's got some size, and then he's stepping out and hitting threes. So it's like, again, a guy that fits this system. You got a 5-man that can step out, but bang around inside too. So again, I think, and then you got these young guys that, Grimes and Drain that we just saw a little bit of.
How about Xander Carter?
Yeah, and Xander Carter, they're waiting in the wings and are learning from behind some other guys that are really going to be great examples. So, man, add the newcomers to an already great returning core, and wow, like you get results like we saw this weekend.
Yeah. Don't have a whole lot of time left here, but I do want to get to a couple of other thoughts. And by the way, we still haven't even seen Isaiah Enan yet. and the
Wow.
very little of Josh Smith up to this
Right.
point. So if you get
Right.
those two guys in the mix, who knows what this team could do. But Naz, before we get to the biggest tests on the schedule before conference play, real quick, one reason fans should be over the moon excited for what they've seen through 3 games, and then Scar, I'll let you take the back end of that.
Well, I guess if you were under a rock all weekend and didn't really know what was happening, and are just listening to this, like you got every reason to be excited, because it's not, it's not flukes. Like, you can maybe beat a decent team on a fluke. Like they beat 2 good teams handedly, and you watch that and you're like, there's not going to be. I don't think there's going to be a night where they won't get good looks that they want. Now, whether they go in, we all know how that goes.
Right.
But there was times, and again, in the evolution of the program where you're like, everything's kind of got to go right. They got too many weapons, and the ball movement, the unselfishness, the understanding of how they want to play. I don't see anybody preventing them from getting good looks. And when you're having that and you got guys like, hey, one guy might be off. You got other guys, like maybe another undersold guy is Porter, man. I mean, he had 23 the other night. It's like,
Quietly,
if one guy's a little if one guy's a little off, you've got other guys that can step in and have a hot half or have a great game. So, it's real. And here's the other thing, like it's real. It's built on guys that are really great guys. I mean, off the court, like if you're an LU student, you can back a team because like they're good people. They're representing you in a great way on the court and off the court too. They're not going to do anything to embarrass the university and the program. They're just good kids. They're working hard. You got every reason to like them. Get out and see them. Get to the arena, to the games, and support them. They're gonna do you proud.
Scar,
All right,
about
so
a
you-
minute.
you-
Tell
you
me,
gonna
Scar, about a minute. Tell me why folks shouldn't overreact to what they've seen here so
I was
far.
going to say Naz is going to make me be the voice of reason. I see.
You get to be bad cop.
Yeah, exactly. Bad cop. So I think, the team's not going to shoot 57% from the field on the year. They're not going to shoot 48% from downtown on the year. They may average about 8 turnovers because what they're averaging now. They're even shooting 71% from the free throw line, which was atrocious last year, but they've increased that. They're not going to score 92 points a game. The reality is, when you have time to prepare for these teams, and these Conference USA teams are built, remember, when you win a championship, people start building their team to how to beat you. Now, Liberty's improved, but everybody in Conference USA has too. They're not going to run the table because I've been around Liberty Flames fans for a long time, and I know they're thinking 30-0. It's not going to happen, but enjoy what you have right now. Understand the window we're in, and I mean the window of the Richie McKay era, because it is special, and it's going to continue. But there's a lot of games, a lot of teams in front of this group that are capable of defending this group. They're on a roll right now, but there is a way to beat them. They are not unbeatable. And, I'm going to enjoy this past weekend, but everything is still in front of this team.
You still got teams like NC State. You still got teams like Dayton on the schedule. I think those are a couple of the biggest challenges looming. And then don't forget about that trip down to Orlando either. Vermont's always a solid team. There's some tough non-conference opponents still laying out there in the weeds. But I'll say this, after watching this past weekend, beating 2 tough non-conference opponents, I'm excited to see what they do when they have to raise their level and play against the ACC or play against some of these other really good mid-majors. So it's a great opening conversation, guys. Great way to strong start to the season. Just like the Flames, we're off to a strong start here on NAZSCAR. Hit the follow button, subscribe to the Liberty Flames podcast, powered by Rogers Heating and Cooling, servicing Greater Lynchburg's HVAC and electrical needs. Schedule your service today at callrogers.com. We'll come back again next week. We will chop up all the particulars of the Carolina University game. I know you guys are looking forward to that.
Yeah.
No, but we'll look at where the team is here in about a week. Maybe you get Isaiah Enan in there a little bit more. Maybe Josh Smith, or you get him on the floor. Maybe you get Josh Smith in there a little bit more. There's a lot of things to keep an eye on here. Can Brett Decker keep up this scoring run that he's on right now? How long can he keep it up, I should say? We'll talk about all that, and then we'll start to look ahead to the games coming up in Orlando, because I think those are going to be some good ones. Guys, as always, this has been a lot of fun. Appreciate you guys hopping on, being a part of it, and just the first of many here this season, fellas. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. I can't wait to do it again next week. And again, a lot of good basketball ahead of us. And it's always fun to talk basketball with my boys. But when Liberty's playing like they played this past weekend, it takes it up to a whole nother notch.
Yeah, glad we're back in season and we're off and running like the Flames.
For Paul Nazigian and Tim Scarborough, I'm Nick Pierce. This has been the NAZSCAR podcast on the Liberty Flames podcast channel. So long, everybody.